Couldn't. So welcome again to the information session about Alpha Lambda Delta, specifically for the University of Southern California. This is just for your chapter. Again, my name's Eileen, and I am going to lead us through just really brief. These are just no more than half an hour, if that. I'm going to answer some questions, describe and tell you a little bit about Alpha Lambda Delta, and then answer any questions you might have. And again, welcome and thanks for your interest in Alpha Lambda Delta. So let's get started. We are a National Honor Society, really all about encouraging superior academic achievement. You have done really well your first term, your first semester at USC. Congratulations. That's not easy to do. And so Alpha Lambda Delta is all about recognizing that and encouraging you to continue along the path of academic excellence. We have been around a long time. Last year, we celebrated twice our centennial. We had a couple different celebrations for our centennial turning 100. So we have been around a long time, founded at the University of Illinois. We technically have more like 415, I think, chapters across the country, but they're not always active here and there. Sometimes they become inactive. So we have about 300 active chapters, many in California. We're at Sonoma State, UCLA, Laverne, a couple UCs and a couple CSUs. We do induct at least 22 to 25,000 students join every year. I'm going to talk in a minute a little bit about being legitimate as an honor society, but I want you to know that there is an association of college honor societies, an organization in this country that certifies legitimate honor societies, because not all organizations that call themselves an honor society are truly a real honor society. So ACHS is a good source to know about. And we have been a certified member of ACHS since 1938. So a long time. So again, you're here because you got invited because you did really well your first semester. Again, congrats on that. If you've achieved that, that's why you got invited to join Alpha Lambda Delta at USC. And so hopefully you decide to join this organization. I'll talk a little bit more, and Lisa will a little bit more. If there are student officers that have joined us, they can chime in regarding the fees. We'll talk about fees and money and why that's a part of this in a few minutes. Just know that there are sort of two parts to the fee you've been told that is the cost to join Alpha Lambda Delta. So there's a national fee, and that's $30 across the board. And then every campus, every chapter can add on an amount that goes to support the many things that they offer on campus. So I believe for USC it's 45. Yeah, so your fee is 75. The most important thing about that is to know, I think, is that it's one time, lifetime. So there's no annual fee, no annual dues. Your card doesn't get charged again. It's a one-time lifetime dues for a lifetime of benefits. And we're going to talk a little bit more about where that money goes in a minute. Just overall benefits to joining. There are many. It is a great resume builder. Remember that we've been around a long time. It will function like any other student organization at USC, of which there are hundreds and hundreds of recognized student organizations. So it's student-led. It's led by you all. Maybe you might be a future leader in the organization. So it's all student-led, and you're doing activities with others who are interested in continuing to do well academically. Lots of opportunity for leadership development. I'll talk about the perks program, which can save you a lot of money. And then we'll talk about honor cords and regalia and that sort of thing. So at a minimum, you do get a certificate and a pin at an induction ceremony if you choose to have a certificate and pin and choose to attend the ceremony. I can't remember, Lisa, does everyone get a certificate? Yeah.
Yes.
So Yeah,
Yes.
so and she can talk about the ceremony in a minute. But you do get a custom made certificate and a pin that you will have forever. The ceremonies are really nice. I know USC has a nice induction ceremony. It's not required that you attend. This is a pretty big chapter at USC. So we know that not everybody has that exact day and time available. But if you can go, it's a lovely ceremony and a really nice opportunity to celebrate your success. Lisa, anything you want to say about the ceremony itself? Sorry, I don't want to
Yeah,
put you on the
no,
spot.
that's okay. I was admitting a few in the
Yeah,
wait
I'll
room.
take care of it.
Yeah, that's cool. So, yeah, so for our ceremony, it's in going to be TCC Ballroom on March 3rd, 5th. And what we're asking is if you've signed up for ALD by the 23rd, so this next on Sunday night, we'll be able to have your certificate ready for you at the ceremony. But we are welcoming membership after that date, and you can still come to induction all the way up until the 3rd, because that's when we have to do the final setup. So, but your certificate would not be available then. You just pick it up later with our team. But it's a wonderful opportunity to learn about what ALD is at USC. And as Eileen had mentioned, our local fee we add on, and that includes consideration for scholarships for students that have been in the program for over a year. We do twice a year, we do free headshots for students. They do a number of philanthropic events. We actually, in a couple days, they're writing letters to an elder home, and they're doing some artwork and things for that. And then they do a number of projects on campus. And that all covers, and none of those, there's no charge for any of those activities for you to attend. And then at graduation, we have honors courts for students that are interested in the honors courts. So we do try to do perks all along the way. So thank you,
Yeah,
Eileen. We will talk about that.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get a lot for, well, we're going to talk very specifically about a little bit more in depth about the money piece of it. So the next two slides, I've been doing this a long time. I've been with ALD for 10 years, but for 30 years before that, I worked on college campuses doing very similar work to Lisa's orientation and first year programs and stuff. But with ALD, I know a lot of the questions that students have. I understand that it's a big decision to make whether to join or not. And I just hear a lot of the reasons maybe that you might be questioning it. So I just want to address those head on. And then again, if you have more questions, please feel free to ask. So, sometimes students say like, so, okay, so I got good grades. It's, on my transcript, like, so what's the big deal? um, you should know that it is a big deal to do this well early in college. It is not an easy thing. You're among a small group of students that have done this well their first semester. So it's a great thing to have accomplished, and we think it's certainly important to celebrate that. And really, you know, research shows that it will really form a nice foundation for you to do well, to continue to do well. Maybe you might have a goal of graduating with a minimum 3.5 or higher. Um, so that's great. And ALD can help support you in that goal. It's important to know though that you don't get kicked out if you're like, we don't want it to be too much high pressure. So if things happen, life happens, your grades might dip or ebb and flow, that's normal. And so you don't get kicked out if your GPA drops below. Our minimum is 3.5 or higher, which is what you've achieved. And so if it ebbs and flows, that's fine too. It's, you don't, you're always a member. So if you join by this semester, then you'll be a member for life no matter what. But ALD can be a nice resource to help you continue to do well. One of the things that I hear a lot about is, college students today are busy, you're all busy, you've got part-time jobs, full-time jobs, sports teams, other clubs, a course load that's, heavy duty maybe. You've got a lot on your plate, and you might be thinking, this is the last thing I need. I don't have time for this. So it is important to know that there are no requirements for membership in ALD. So there are other organizations you might be familiar with that, you have to attend 6 events every semester, or, 3 service projects. You got to do this, you got to do that. That is not the case with Alpha Lambda Delta. You can come and go as you please. You have a very active chapter on your campus with a ton of student leaders, um, coordinating a ton of activities. Great stuff. But if you don't have time to go to things, you're not required to. The only other thing I like to say about time, which I think is an important thing to just consider, is that your time right now might be super busy, and you feel like you can't go to any meetings with ALD, you can't go to the events. That's fine. You don't have to. But your time commitments might change. They will change. Next year, you just never know. Like maybe your job, you don't need to work as many hours. Maybe your coursework is not as challenging as it is right now. Things change. And so I don't want you to make a decision maybe not to join now because you think it's going to take too much time, when next year, the year after, your senior year, you've got more time to go to some of the things that the chapter's coordinating and offering on campus that you'll miss out on. So your time commitments will change over time. Time and money are the two topics I get the most of. Time and money. I don't have time, I don't have money. So why is there a fee at all? I just got good grades. Why do I have to pay anything? What does the money go for? Is it sort of a scam if they charge me money, that sort of thing? So, every honor society, every national, legit honor society has a membership fee. That's just sort of the nature of a membership organization. And you're going to run into that anywhere with any sort of membership organization. So there's always a fee with that. We try and keep it as low as possible. We are not out to make money off the backs of students at all. The national organization charges $30. For all you get for the $30, it's pretty significant. And again, we're a nonprofit charitable organization. We are not gouging students. So the $30 gets you, the membership certificate, the pin, and a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So your $30 is already, there's plenty that you'll get for that. So Lisa's already sort of touched on the other part of that. So anything above 30 is the local fee, what we call the local fee or chapter fee. And so it varies for every institution. So we can't ever say that our fee is one fee, because every college gets to decide what that local fee is. So USC has decided 45. So your fee is 75. So the 45, 100% of it goes to the chapter, goes to the campus. So that's all spent back on you, back on the campus activities. And you know that if you belong to any other student organization on campus, which I bet a bunch of you do, every club needs money to function. That they're either doing fundraisers or they get money from your student activities fee. But there's always a need for some sort of funds to function on campus. So Lisa, is there anything more you want to say? You get an honor cord, so that's a big thing. You don't have to buy a cord. That will cost you 20 plus shipping alone for your honor cord. So you already get that, so that's included. And then I think there's scholarships. You're eligible for your own scholarship, local scholarships, but the money is well spent.
And also the different activities through the year. The students, Eileen mentioned this as far as the time and commitment, but ALD at USC is what you make of it. And what's lovely is the students are able to select each year. We get together, I get together with the student leaders, and they say, these are the things that we want to do for the year. And you could have an opportunity as a new inductee, as a member of ALD, to be a chair of one of the activities, or an e-board officer that would run an activity, and the leadership experience that you would get. And then all those activities that you all decide to do, we fund them through our fees. And so We're going to be kicking off a scholarship, a local scholarship, because the national, we encourage students to apply for the national scholarships, and those requirements. And we have our local scholarships. And again, there's no fee to apply. You can be considered. And many of our students have gotten their membership, 10 times over, or
Yeah.
actually probably 300 times over, with those scholarships, which is really fantastic. And what's nice is the leadership opportunity that's right away that you get is really worth the process. But again, we do professional headshots every year, twice a year, so that you have those for when you're interviewing for jobs. We oftentimes have faculty do resume reviews. We have faculty speakers. We have other philanthropic activities. So the group really tries to create an environment. We do during study times, we have study classrooms where you just can go in and get snacks and sit and study and be quiet with each other. And it's nice to find a space that's available, and that's all provided by the club, and you can be a part of it or you can just participate. So that's a lot to it.
Yeah, right. And food alone probably at the events is gonna cover your extra 45.
Right.
So, it's a lifetime investment, no recurring fees. It's really a decision you have to make about, is it worth it to you? Is it worth $75? Just know that there has to be some sort of charge to cover some of the fees for the services you get. It's legit. It's, but it's up to you to decide if it's worth it. And if it's okay for me to say this, Lisa, if you find that you really want to join and you have some financial need, maybe reach out and see if there's some help you can get through our organization. And remember that there's no recurring. So we've said that enough, but it's part of sort of other organizations sort of MO to charge your credit card multiple times, and we don't do that. And there's no annual fees.
So I might add, I think you have some more other things as far as scans, but what I do find a lot is right now, since it's your first semester completed at USC, and those of you that were here spring, now it's going into your second semester. It's relatively new, but we have a lot of students that actually come to us later and say, I have a 3.5, I'd like to join now. And the only time you can join is during the first year. So this invitation will be good through the end of the school year, but next year, when you find that there are some advantages to having an honor society on your resume, having those contacts and things like that, we don't open it up again. It really is for this year, and then you have to find other. And I really do find that there's a large number of students that come later and go, gosh, there is value to this, and I would like to be a part. Also, being in a group of individuals that challenge you is really lovely. So I just wanted to say that. So I don't know if that's it's kind of in the next thing here, but it is this year more than ever. I've had more people say, "Oh, I want to be an ALD."
Wish they joined.
They didn't respond last year, so I just wanted to say that.
That's great. Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. And I think your initial invitation for students you got said, "This is your chance." Like you get invited during your first year, so don't miss out, kind of thing. The other things, we certainly sound like a fraternity and sorority. I know USC has a lot of social fraternities and sororities. We are very much not that. Nothing wrong with those. I used to be a Greek advisor, and I advised sororities for 30 years before coming to ALD. So I love my fraternities and sororities, but that is not who Alpha Lambda Delta is. And I say just to know that this different. We are an academic honor society, very different. But what that means is that you can join multiple organizations. In the Greek world, the traditional fraternity and sorority world, if any of you have, I don't know if you've gone through rush activities or if you're part of fraternities and sororities, but if you are, you know that you only join one. Like you match with one, you pair with one, and like that's it for the rest of your life. For fraternities and sororities, but not the case with honor organizations or service fraternities. There's business fraternities. There's all sorts of professional fraternities and honor societies. and you can join multiple. You're not you don't have to just pick one for the rest of your life and like that's it. You can join multiple organizations. Now, although I would caution you with the next bullet point about the scam issue, there are some sketchy groups out there. So I would just be, I guess my advice would be to do your homework or do some research, Google it, and see what you can find. Because not all organizations who claim to be honor societies are in fact honor societies. So just a couple things. I'm just going to give you a couple tips to look for if you did get multiple invitations this semester and emails and letters in the mail to your parents or whatever you might have received. Just be on the lookout for certain things. So if you do look up other organizations and look us up too, hopefully you have. Do they have chapters around the country? We have 400 chapters. Are they, established entities on college campuses? Are there faculty and staff advisors and student officers running things like Lisa and the many student officers? Is it a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization as we are? One of the key things is, was there any academic criteria at all? There's some groups that you might get invited to that maybe everybody on campus got invited to, no matter their GPAs. So some of these organizations, they're not looking at legitimate, verified lists of eligibility. Alpha Lambda Delta will never invite someone who did not meet the academic criteria. Yeah, look at the transparency on their website. Is there bylaws and the Constitution and governance, and is there an executive director or board of directors, and all of that, is that transparent on their website? So there are other organizations that aren't legitimate, true honor societies, and you'll just have to sort of discern what's legit and what's meaningful and what might be something you could pass on. We do think it does look good on your resume because we're well known. We've been around 100 years, 101. So we're known by graduate schools and staff that are perusing, your resumes, that sort of thing for jobs. We have over 1.3 million members worldwide. From the beginning, from the founding. So there's a lot of Alpha Lambda Delta members out there. Your membership goes with you wherever you go. So if you transfer from USC, and if you go to a school that has a chapter and you want to be involved in that chapter, let us know. Just email us at the national office and we'll update our records so that you'll get kind of aligned with and communicate with the new chapter or with the chapter at your new school. And then if you do transfer to a school that does not have a chapter, we could add you to our global chapter, which is really just for transfer students, for staying in touch with any news we have to share. And you could also help us establish a new chapter at the school you transfer to. I've mentioned the benefits, so I'm just going to run through these real quick. National ALD is our website. Hopefully you've already looked at our website, I hope. But if not, you are certainly welcome to find all of this information on our website. Let me just put that in there. We have a leadership certificate program, pretty cool, very popular, exclusive to ALD. You could be nationally certified as a leader if you complete 10 out of 12 of these programs. Self-paced, take the next 3 years to do it. Really cool, unique thing. I need to update the slide because we give out 225,000. We just added more. So Lisa mentioned this too. So we give out scholarships every year, and then the USC chapter gives out scholarships. So you have multiple opportunities for scholarships. The perks program is really great. If you join, you need to check this out. You're going to make back that $75 in a week. It's exclusive perks and discounts on everything you're already purchasing, food and car, oil changes and movie tickets, theater, travel, health and wellness, lots of different perks. This is an exclusive benefit of ALD. You don't, you're not charged anymore for it. We offer a lot of career development opportunities and programs. This is not a well-known thing, and this seems like it might not be true, but it is true. Is if you ever want to work for the federal government, you would normally start entry level at a GS5. And because you are in a National Honor Society, particularly an ACHS certified honor society, which Alpha Lambda Delta is, you're automatically bumped up to a GS7 in salary, which is a significant increase. It definitely is a good thing for your resume, lots of volunteer opportunities. We do host a national conference. Now, not everybody can go to the conference, but a number of you could if you were decided you wanted to play a leadership role in the chapter. So we do offer a conference. It's pretty much a free trip, paid for by the chapter, your travel, and then Alpha Lambda Delta covers the hotel and food. So it's always in the fall, in October, and this fall it's in a different city every year. Last year was Chicago, and this year it's Washington, D.C. in the endish of October. So Lisa has mentioned a little bit about the opportunities for campus. So I just sort of reviewed all the national benefits, all that you get sort of from the headquarters, but there's tons of stuff going on campus for your own, local benefits. Anything more you want to add there, Lisa?
Of course, I will add some things, but also if I could, those of you that are here today, we're recording it, and I just got another ping from our membership chairman, and she said, "Can you please have people, sign in if they've attended?" So if you wouldn't mind just putting your full name in the chat, we're only going to use it just for our records to see who came in and collected to the record. So if you had more questions and you reached out, so if you want to just put your name in there, that would be fantastic. And
Sorry about
no, no,
that. I
no,
said I would
that's
do that
okay.
and I forgot.
Kate would be so happy with me because Kate she's the one sending you all emails, telling you updates and everything, and she would love to know who's here. So
Thanks, everybody. I
yeah,
forgot that.
thank you so much. It's really great. And if there are parents on here, thanks for joining in as well, because it's wonderful. But the activities that happen on campus really range throughout the year. And again, it's really up to what the group wants to do. And they do 2 or 3 philanthropic events each semester, along with other just campus fun activities. And what they do also kind of coordinate with other clubs and organizations that are doing fun activities so that you get a chance to meet other people. We've started some series about career development, and so each year that's a little different. The e-board has sponsored fun, they do the boxes at the games, which is exciting. So you can go to we went to the women's USC UCLA game, which was sold out, and it was amazing. So that was a fun event for the students as well. And again, those were all included in our activities. We put together a budget each year for those type of activities, and they really are for what you want to do as a member of this club. And again, it's what you want to make of it each year. So you're being inducted this year. You would be eligible for scholarships next year at this time. But all the activities, you'll be available right away. You'll be able to sign up, and then we kind of the orientation office is a little bit like our hub. So if you can't make it to induction, which we would love for you to come to induction on March 5th. But if you can't, the certificates will be available in the orientation office to pick up later. And those of you that don't sign up by the 23rd, we'll still be able to sign up for ALD, and we'd love for you to, but then you can just pick it up later at the orientation office. And then, we'll just kind of see whatever else the group wants. So I think, that's it that I have right now, but I'll certainly answer any questions if people had them.
That's great. Good. So this came up earlier, just so membership is through all your time at USC. It's not like just we're an honor society that recognizes first year success, but you're a member for all 4 years. And so it's not just, I just get involved right now and that's it. It's certainly extends through graduation where you could wear your honor cord and that whole thing. Great questions coming in. I'll get to them. Yeah, we do, like we said, there's a senior book award, and honor cords and senior certificates. That's our honor cord right there. A lot of students get the stole and the medallion, but the honor cord is a lovely thing to have as well. I strongly encourage you to follow us online if you haven't already, particularly on Instagram. We don't do a whole lot. Basically, Facebook is just a repeat of Instagram, and that's for our parents, parents of students. But we're pretty active on Instagram at National ALD. I would encourage you to follow us there, just to it'll give you sort of a good sense of who we are, what we're about at the national level again. And I know USC has an Instagram as well. Just get this in here in chat. It'll give you a good sense of our vibe and what we're about. Okay, so I know that Lisa's answering a couple questions. So I think I saw something about international. So absolutely, international students, if you are invited, you are invited to be a member. And if you're a member, you're eligible for all of the benefits. And so yes, international students can apply for and receive our scholarships. So that's definitely yeah, our rule for us is that all members are eligible. So remember that, and I mentioned this earlier, if you're just getting here, that you don't lose membership if your GPA dips below the minimum. So if you join by this semester, and Sunday is the preference, the preferred deadline is this coming Sunday, you're a member for life. So no matter what happens next year or this semester or next year, you're a member for life because your eligibility has already happened from the fall. Nice, I said last day to join. So no, Sunday the 23rd, the invitation closes, right? Is that what someone was asking?
Yeah, it will close. There is an official form. You would have received an email invitation. If you didn't, the question here, if you didn't, let me know and I can regenerate it.
I'm going to put a link in the chat in just a second. Give me one while I find it here. I stopped screen sharing, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So you don't need to see everything I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to put in chat members.nationalald.org/accept. That's all you need. If you lost your email invitation, that is all you need. You're going to get reminders anyway. I can tell you on Sunday morning, you're going to get a last chance reminder. So that's sort of the form you need. If you're here, you already got an email invitation. So check in your spam folder. You should have gotten reminders. You've gotten, and I know for sure you're going to get an email Sunday morning to tell you that today's the last day, or that day is the last day.
And also, Eileen, in the invitation that you get for the 23rd, there are some questions that we ask you about if you're interested in attending induction and if you want to be on the leadership board. Again, there's no commitment to either one of those. It's just information. And then once we have the whole membership list, we'll send out another email confirming your attendance for induction or not. But I also want to remind this group, if you don't sign up by the 23rd, there will be another invitation going out to extend it. You just will not be able to get a printed certificate during induction. You could get it later. So
Yeah.
we'd love for you to sign up now. If you're going to sign up, sign up. You might as well get this now. Otherwise, we're going to wait until the end of April, so it'll be next school year that you would get your certificate. So it's nice to get it right away. So that's
Yeah,
kind of the
the deadline.
deadline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
It won't keep you from signing up
right,
on the
right.
23rd. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick though. Yeah, you're right. I will tell you, I'm going to warn you now that if you try and join like a minute after, it's like it sounds really sort of scammy that I'm saying midnight tonight, but on midnight on Sunday it will. It's although we're East Coast, so I'm not sure if it's going to extend to West Coast. But anyway, it will shut you out. It will expire. You won't be able to join until like about 24 hours later we can reopen it, but there will be a point if you don't join by the deadline where it's gonna cut you off.
And that's because it's automated, and you all know
Yeah,
that when you have to turn
yeah,
in papers, when you get shut
yeah,
out, that's going
exactly.
to happen. But
That's
we'd
what
love to
happens.
have you be a part more than not, but we
Yeah,
had to do the shut off for that particular reason. But for induction, you would need to let us know by the 3rd of March for the 5th event. And again, induction is just a wonderful ceremony in our TCC ballroom in the Tudor Center, and it will be for about an hour. You'll meet current ALD members, new ALD members. You're welcome to bring your parents. And we'll just have like cookies and things. It's very light. So some of you I know have class, but if you can swing by before or after, or then just pick up your certificate later, that's fine. But we would love to have you be a part. It's really such a great group of students that are all about just supporting each other. And I know there was a question about hazing or anything like that. And this is the kindest group I've actually seen around. They're just wonderful, wonderful students, and they want to support each other. They want to make sure that you do well. And what's lovely is the opportunities for leadership. There's a huge support. And then we have many members that stay on as advisors. So they were leaders in on the e-board initially, and then they just stayed on because they didn't want to leave. And so then they help their upperclassmen helping the underclassmen get, move forward in their abilities and running events and things like that. And so we have students that have been involved for all their 4 years, if they were inducted in their freshman year. And we have many transfer students, and then they come back and apply for the graduate fellowships and things like that. So we'd love to have you be a part. We really thank you for joining us tonight for sure. If there are any other questions, please let us know, or you can, certainly contact me. I'm in the orientation office or the ald@usc.edu. The students are amazing at getting questions answered for you all. So thank you so much for being here. And
yeah,
thanks,
this was
Eileen. I want
great.
to say a huge thank you to you for running this for us
My
tonight. Late
pleasure.
for you.
It's all right. Yeah. Did I get the address right? ALD@usc.edu. Yeah.
Yep,
So if you have questions.
absolutely. Okay. And good. And
I'll
Lori,
hang
if
it.
you
Yeah.
can't find your application, you just let me know and we'll get it for you. Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a good evening
Bye,
and
everybody.
let us know if you have questions.
Yeah.
What a great group, Lisa.
Yay.
Such great USC students.
Cool. Let's see. All right, and then Connor.
Sometimes students walk away,
That's what I figured.
What a great turnout. Oh, let me stop recording.